All right, everybody, welcome back. Once again, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate your support. And check out my website here, danceofthecosmos.com. Again, my name's Dan Hendricks, and this is continuing our series of understanding the planets through exploring the natures of their nakshatras. And excuse me. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the moon and the moon's nakshatras. So let's go ahead and look here at the moon's nakshatras. So first and foremost, we have Rohini. Rohini is, mythologically, this is the nakshatra that the moon favors the most. And what does that tell us? Well, let's see. Why would the moon favor Rohini the most? So Rohini means growth. It means ruddy cow. It means growth. It's all about being able to grow things. And we're going to see that. The nature of this nakshatra is growth and creation the more and more we get into it. Because the deity of the moon, of Rohini, excuse me, is Prajapati. Prajapati is known as, like it says here, it's the creator. And there's a lot of different things when you go into starting to research these deities and finding it out. I mean, we talk about Prajapati as on the same level as Brahma. And Brahma is known as the creative force of the universe that brings everything into fruition. And brings all of creation into manifestation. And Prajapati is known in the early Rig Vedic times as having that same similar role. So the idea of Prajapati is to create, to make things grow, to bring energy into something and make it happen. And we know that the Shakti power of Rohini is to grow. And the result of that Shakti power, the result of growing, is creation. So this is a very creatively centered nakshatra by taking what it has and making something more happen. And the reason why I say that is because the basis above is plants and the basis below is waters. So the way I look at basis above and basis below is it's like on the one hand we have plants and on the other hand we have waters. And so it's like, and it's the tying of these two things together is the energy that we understand by infusing what it means to have plants and waters by basis above and basis below, because it's basically like they're working together here. So what waters is all about is being able to nourish and having the ability to bring life to something, and then plants are that ability to have life. So you can see where this is all about growth and creation, and plants and waters, these are naturally occurring things, right? These are just like, water is like the main sustaining form of all life to exist here on Earth. And then plants are a very fundamental part of life on Earth. And in fact, without plants, we couldn't exist as humans. And then what we see about Rohini also is that it's a fixed nakshatra. That means what it's growing, it's wanting to create for a long time. So it's not looking to just be, move from this thing to this thing. It's like, no, this is what it is that I am nurturing, and I'm going to bring my energy here to make sure that this stays growing. So all about growth, all about creation, bringing things into creation and nurturing them. Now, when we look at the next nakshatra is Hasta. Hasta has the meaning of hand. Now, the deity for Hasta is Savitar, which it says here, the sun as inspiration. But there's some qualities of Savitar which I think are very interesting, because Savitar is said to have, it's a representative of the sun. It's said to rule the sun before sunrise, basically, when it's not there. And then Savitar is also said to be golden armed, as well as like golden hands. So it has a certain um, meaning of hands. I mean, there's a certain indications here of hand when we're talking about Savitar. And Savitar is about bringing, because he rules the time before sunset, so it's like he's handing it off, because the sun is known as Surya when it's in the sky until sunset. And then it's known as Savitar before that happens. And so Savitar has a lot. And Savitar is also known here. Let's back out of this. I have it right here in the background. Savitar has golden arms, broad-handed or beautiful-handed. He is also pleasant-tongued or beautiful-tongued and once called iron jaws. His eyes are golden as well. He puts on a tawny garment, golden chariot, golden pole, which is omniform, just as he himself is capable of assuming all forms. Now, he illumines the air, heaven, and earth, the world, the spaces of the earth, the vault of heaven. Like Pushan and Surya, he is lord of that which moves and is stationary. Savitar has been attributed to as upholding the movables and immovable, which signifies the maintenance of Dharma. Sattvar is a beneficent god who acts as protector of all beings who are provident and guard the world of spirits. And anyways, so that gives us an idea of Hasta here. As now it says here the sun is inspiration, but we see that it's really just a very powerful form of the sun. And now we see here the Shakti power. It's kind of hard to read. It's very small because it's a long Shakti. The Shakti power of Hasta is gain what one is seeking and place it in one's hands. The Shakti result is puts one wishes to gain in one's hands. Obviously, we left off a W here. It says put one ishes. Puts what one, so it's about gaining what one is seeking and place it right in one's hands. And then puts what one wishes to gain in one's hands. So you see that idea of wishes to gain and gaining what one is seeking. And then we see here the basis above is like on one hand here, one hand is seeking of gain, and the other hand, the basis below, is the process of gaining. So here we have the process of being able to get what it is that we want, and then combining that with the seeking of the gain. And then we see that this is a swift and light nakshatra. So swift and light means that it's going to do what it has to do, because that's what swift is. It's going to go after something very fast. And light means that it's not heavy, it's not held down, it's easy, and it's able and easy to move. So what we see with the overall energy of this nakshatra is really getting what it is that one wants. And it's really about the process of getting what one wants and the energy to really know what it is and be able to really just go out there and get it, because it's what we're inspired to go and do. And then finally we have Shravan, which Shravan means hearing. And the deity is Vishnu, the pervader. I shouldn't have to describe the deity of Vishnu. Vishnu, when we're talking about here, is the pervader. Vishnu represents everything in manifestation. And then we're talking about the Shakti power of Shravan is connection. And the result of this connection, of this Shakti energy of connection, is the connection of all things. So it's about one thing coming together, but it's also about something bigger. And the reason why it's about something bigger is because we're talking about the deity is Vishnu himself. You could say that all deities or all of manifestation is an aspect of Vishnu. Everything you see is Vishnu. Krishna was an incarnation of Vishnu. Rama, incarnation of Vishnu. So very powerful. We also know that Krishna is very much related to the moon as well. And so it makes sense to see that the deity that Vishnu is the deity for Shravana, which is the nakshatra of the moon. And then we see that the basis above, like on one hand we have seeking, and on the basis below, on the other hand, we have the paths. So we have the many ways that we can go, and then we have the process of seeking, and we have these coming together. So we're having this balance. So Shravana represents that energy between what it is that we want to see, what it is that we are seeking, that we want to find, what it is that we have. And there's the actual paths, all the different ways that we can go about that and bringing those together, because that's where we get the connection, and that's how we get the connection of all things. Because you'll see that both here, seeking and connection, the Shakti power of connecting and the basis above of seeking are very similar, right? Because in order to be able to connect with something, you have to be seeking it. And it has to be possible. But it's not just about connection, it's about having forming a bigger and a greater connection. And the fact that Shravana is related to hearing means that we're aware of it. Because when we hear something, hearing, it's not like, it's an action that's, it is a sense. Hearing is a sense that we have, hearing has an idea of being present, because when we're hearing someone talk, we're being present in the situation. And we're being present because we see what it is that we want, and we want to connect to something, but we're going to connect to make it a greater something. And then we see that this is a movable nakshatra, which means that where we see it, which is really interesting here, is because Rohini is fixed, meaning it's wanting to grow and create something, right? Well, Shravana is about being movable, about being able to find whatever path it is that I need, because I see that there's so many paths. I want to connect to everything, and I'm going to change as I need to change. So what does all of this tell us about the moon? Well, what this tells us about the moon from Shravana and Hasta is that what it is that the moon represents is, because we know the moon is a feminine planet, we know the moon represents what we want and what we need in this world that's going to make us happy, right? That's going to make us fulfilled, what we want to bring into our life. And Hasta and Shravana really show that energy of the moon. Shravana shows that I'm really connecting. I want something to connect to. We know that the moon is lovesick, right? And lovesick meaning the moon is always looking for something new to connect to. We know that moon is all about adapting. It's our individualized consciousness, our ability to adapt to whatever situation that we're put in. And so we can see that with Shravana. It's about that. It's saying here's what I want, and I see how to get there, and I'm going to make the changes to get there. It shows moon has those qualities. And then we see that the moon with Hasta, this really shows us that the moon is like, this is that lovesick nature, right? Gain what one is seeking and place it in one's hand. I mean, Hasta is if you have planets in Hasta, you have planets that are going to produce by wanting to get the thing that it is that they need. And this shows that the moon has that. The moon is like, I want this. This is what I want, and I want to get it. I'm really trying to get it, because you can see we have two nakshatras that are related to seeking of gain, and seeking as the basis above for Hasta and the basis above for Shravana. So we see that very much. The moon has this wanting to get what it has, but wanting to connect with it. But also we see that through Rohini, the moon is all about growing things. It's always wanting to grow and get something new, and it will be fixed upon when it sees what is worth growing. It will be fixed upon its path. But when it sees, so the moon represents two things. This is the nurturing. Rohini represents the nurturing side of the moon. So because there's two things. I mean, the moon is a very movable, very fickle planet, very changeable planet. And the moon, because the moon is very much an adaptable planet. It's about adapting to our environment. And we're adapting to our environment because we want to grow. We want to create this. The moon has this nurturing energy. And then at the same time, the moon is also, when it represents our individualized consciousness, it's like, this is what I need. This is what it is that I feel that I want to have. Because Savitar also has, I believe it said the maintenance of Dharma. So, I mean, So this isn't like the moon's fickle energy. This is the moon realizing what it needs for us to get on our dharmic path and wanting to get there. And then being that it's swift and light, this means the moon is like, because the moon is known as a sattvic planet. The moon wants to do what is pure and what is right and what is going to bring balance into our life. And Hasta shows the moon has that energy of really wanting to get what it is and bring it to us. And then Shravana is about what we're bringing, what we're growing, what we're bringing, and what we're creating is about connecting and getting a bigger, deeper connection with everything and being present to see it and seeing all the different ways that we can do it. So anyhow, that really helps us define the moon even more. So when we say lovesick, when we say the moon is lovesick, because that's what Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra says, and it's a wonderful meaning of the moon, and it's a very important thing to understand. Well, this shows us, these nakshatras here show us that what the moon wants, because of Savitar, Savitar is representing that maintenance of Dharma, that very golden, bright, noble intention of, because it sounds like desire, right? Doesn't it sound like desire, gain what one is seeking? But it's about seeking, it's about gaining, because there's things that we need to be able to survive in our life. And there's things that we love. And so this is about really going out and getting it. Having the energy, because this is what I want. This is what I want through my inspiration that's going to help me most on my path. And that is the energy of the moon. And the moon is wanting to connect with everything, and it's wanting to grow and support and nurture everything that it has in its environment as well. So anyhow, thank you for watching this video, and namaste.